This is the Questors Theatre on the western outskirts of London. Founded in 1929, it has now opened one of the most modern playhouses in Britain. This is more than just a new building. It is a living organism in which some hundreds of people, all amateurs, take an active part in producing plays. It is a theatre that represents a new concept, relationship between actor and audience. The building has cost some £85,000 and has been financed partly by the money-raising efforts of our own members, partly by donations of many theatre lovers, and partly by the generous patronage of those whose names are recorded on this board in the foyer. The theatre complex of buildings, workshops, wardrobe, rehearsal rooms, meeting room and club rooms grouped around the playhouse itself. Audiences are attracted to the Questors from a wide area, partly because of the theatre itself, contemporary and theatrical, partly because of the plays, stimulating and adventurous, and partly because of the vigour of the whole organisation. The plays presented range from the great classics to works of new and young writers. Vital to the success of the venture are the 3,000 or so theatre club members who form the core of the audience. One theatre, yet many theatres, for the design is completely flexible. The acting area and auditorium are designed as one space, and not as two separate areas as in a canal theatre. Even so, a picture frame can be established with removable proscenium screens. A forestage of any size or shape can be built out from the front of the stage. The third arrangement is for a three-sided open stage production. Seats are removed from the pit, and those extreme side seats previously screened off are now brought into use. There are 3 tunnels by which actors can enter from under the auditorium. For the fourth arrangement, which is theatre in the round, the proscenium screens are entirely removed and portable seating is installed on the stage, so that the actors are completely surrounded by audience. Actors can make their entrance down one of the 2 ramps either side of the stage, or through one or more of the tunnels in the auditorium. We have kept many motion picture records of work on the new theatre. Architect Norman Branson, together with projectionist Jeanette Ambrose, watches some of our early shots. The new theatre committee, responsible for preliminary study and research and for the architect's brief, is in session. After many months of careful discussion, working closely with the committee, Norman Branson produced his highly original design. Spring 1955. On the new site, member Eric Vos preserved the first turf cut by Marius Goring. Our amateur labour immediately swung into action. The first building to be erected was the Bernard Shaw Room block, a 100-seater meeting room with services. This was built and fitted almost entirely by our own members, who had to learn many unfamiliar skills. Many famous stars of the stage have supported the Questors. Dame Thorndyke came in 1956. In 1960, Dame Edith Evans opened the new rehearsal room. Meanwhile, production had been continuing in our old theatre, a converted tin chapel, until we abandoned it in September 1962. After 29 years, we were handing it over for demolition. The final show was a nostalgic farewell concert called Going, Going. Going, going, gone, to make way for the new. May 1963, the contractors for the new Playhouse had established themselves on the site. Alfred Emmett, Honorary Director of Questors, pauses to watch the work. The ground plan of the theatre quickly became clear. The curved cyclorama wall marks the northern extremity of the Playhouse itself. The long summer was here. The intricate girder work was now completed. At the northern end of the building, nearest our camera, the outline of the dressing room and wardrobe block was clearly visible. A flexible theatre demands flexible stage lighting. This was planned from the beginning, and among the roof girders are catwalks from which lanterns can be hung at any point. The 13th of July, 1963. Clusters of racing balloons are ready to herald the laying of the foundation stone of the new building. Lady Redgrave was escorted to the platform by Barbara Emmett and Diana Benn. President Sir Michael Redgrave prepared to receive the guests. The Mayor of Ealing, Alderman R.A. Turner, made one of the opening speeches. Our new theatre received 30 congratulatory messages from the theatre world. In his speech, Sir Michael said, "The idea of building this new theatre was born 34 years ago. Now, half a lifespan later, it is well under construction. It proves that man's heart is still bent on truth, not on destruction." The foundation stone stands proudly at the head of the main staircase. No theatre is complete without its bar. It is in the Grapevine Club that members can relax after rehearsal or show. Profits from bar sales are added to the new theatre fund. All service here, as elsewhere, is given members. With the coming of autumn, the date of handing over the new building was approaching. This was going to leave many jobs of fitting, installing and testing of equipment still to be done. many of these would again be undertaken by our own members. Most of our technical problems were the particular concern of stage director Tony Shipley. Member Tom Boyd started the Shoreham Foundation 10 years earlier and was still working. The flexible design of the theatre required that some of the seating should be removable. When the tunnel entrance under the audience are needed for the actors, the seats bridging them are removed and placed in the seating store. The seating capacity varies with the staging arrangement in use, from 325 in a picture frame production to 460 in the round. Bob Anderson, chief electrician, began testing the stage lighting. He was assisted by Gerald Eisenthal. The cyclorama, some 48 feet wide, has to be lit from above and below. The pit can be covered over when not required. The equipment for controlling the lighting and sound was installed in a control room at the back of the auditorium, giving a clear, unrestricted view of the stage. In addition to the burden of administrative duties, Alfred Emmett was to direct the first play in the new theatre, Ibsen's Brant. Cast leading roles were Raymond Moss as Pastor Brant and Francon Whelan as Agnes. They were now starting on 3 months of arduous work. Special orchestral music was required, and member Arnold Judson composed the score. At one of the many production conferences, the things were considered and discussed. Margaret Reichlin designed the costumes to be made in the wardrobe. The setting was designed by Tadeusz Olowitz, using all the facilities of the large open stage. Translation from conception to reality was the task of top staff, led by Fred Cann. Jacqueline Lerner, one of our wardrobe staff, checks on the stocks in the new wardrobe. And the staff, under the direction of Joan Pyle, were busy with the making and fitting of some 50 costumes. Secretary Martin Bowley was one of those who planned the opening. Lawrence Nixon, our treasurer, hears of latest developments. and there was much extra work for the administrative section. The spring air was full of promise. Moya Stedman and John Rolfe improved the appearance of the entrance. With the opening now but a few hours away, all hands were pressed into last-minute preparations. But at last, unbelievably, after more than 10 years' work, it was ready. Ready and waiting for an audience. April the 22nd, 1964. The gala opening. For every member who had worked so long, this was a night of great anticipation and excitement. No latecomers are allowed on an occasion such as this. With the audience in their seats, Sir Michael Redgrave and the borough and theatre officials await the guest of the evening. Her Gracious Majesty, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, honours the Questors and our ventures. Chairman George Benn escorted Her Majesty to the foyer, where she was met by House Manager Cliff Hampton. She received a flowers from Judith Emmett. This is a beginning. A good beginning, we believe, but still only a beginning. Now, on with the play.
But another few weeks and the sunless place will kill such a delicate little soul. So go south with them as can. The sooner the better. I mean, tomorrow wouldn't be soon enough.
Tomorrow? Leave this house tonight? Oh, my mother now. Oh, he can't die. He must not.
No, Brent, you must die. Do go away.
Doctor, can you promise me that if we go, it will save him?
I believe it will.
Agnes, get him wrapped up now and a few things together. No. It's such a bitter wind. Take the new coat, the one with the swans down below. What are you waiting for?
But no, tonight.
Yes, tonight we go to the harbour master's house. Tomorrow we catch the steamer. I'm not going to stay another night in this cottage of a house. Go, go.
For the world, all or nothing, my son. When one is the world, then the little or much of compassion comes. Yes, one learns from personal suffering.
What do you mean?
Well, no matter no pity at all good or nothing, all. The people in distress, the same. But now that the distress is yours,